so good evening class. Today we will we will continue with our capital market. So I have given physical classes to section A, section C most probably. Section B, no class was allotted to me. So unfortunately, anyways, but the portions that I have covered in section B and in section C was already covered earlier, because I have already provided videos on capital market. What is capital market? What are the features of capital market? What are the capital market instruments? I've talked about derivative market. I've talked about the players of the derivative market. I've talked about the derivative market instruments. All this I've covered earlier only. This only I have discussed in the physical class, just like a revision. I've got only one class, so I've discussed all this only. Okay, so today we will again continue with capital market instruments, right? Okay, so capital market instruments, if you remember, first we divided into hybrid, pure and derivative instruments, right? So hybrid instruments were what? Hybrid instruments having features of more than one instruments. For example, convertible preference share, convertible debentures. If you remember, convertible preference share, convertible debentures, right? Those were hybrid instrument. Now what is pure instrument? Now pure instruments means the instruments that are issued with their basic characteristics or basic features, right? Like normal preference share, normal equity share. These were pure instruments and hybrid instruments. Okay, so now we will talk about what now we will talk about further classification of instruments. Further classification of instruments means capital market instruments. Further classification of capital markets instruments. Further classification. Now what are the further classification? We have already talked that in capital market, the capital market provides a trading floor for the equity shares. We have talked about all this because it provides a trading floor for shares and debentures. So shares of course includes equity shares. So one of the instrument of this capital market is equity shares. Now this equity shares comes in two types, like shares with voting rights and shares with differential voting rights. As to differential voting rights, differential rights as to dividend, voting or otherwise. This is nothing that equity share is divided into simple equity share, that is equity share always. The equity shareholders always have the voting right. We know all that. Okay, and equity share with differential rights means certain different rights are provided to some equity shareholders. And that rights may differ in terms of dividend, that rights may differ in terms of voting. That's it, nothing else. Some are given the same voting rights, the same dividend, but there are few shareholders who are given differential rights. কোনো shareholder के আমরা different কিছু rights दी in terms of की dividend, in terms of voting. That's it. Okay, so first classification is equity shares. Next is preference shares. Now we know there are different types of preference shares. We have studied this earlier also. We have studied this in class 12, class 11. We have studied all this. There are different types of preference shares we have. So the first one is cumulative preference share. What? Cumulative preference share. Now what is cumulative preference share? Cumulative preference share means, cumulative means we are adding up. That is cumulative, right? So what happens? Suppose a company have suffered loss. Suppose 2009, 2010, 2011. A company have suffered loss in these 3 years, right? So it was not possible for the company to pay dividend to the preference shareholders. Now in 2012, the company has earned profit. What? the company has suffered loss in 3 years, that is 2009, 2010, 2011. But in 2012, the company has earned profit. Clear? So now what happens in case of if you are a cumulative preference shareholder, then in this years of losses, whatever the dividend was, this will be added up and will be paid in the year of profit. The dividend which could not be paid in the year of this losses, this dividend will be paid in the year, will be carried forward and paid in the year of the profit. That is cumulative preference share. So what is cumulative? It's cumulative. It's adding up. We are adding up. What we are adding up? We are adding up this losses. Losses means in the loss year, the company failed to pay the dividend. Now these dividends are being added up and these dividends are being paid in the year of the profit. This is cumulative preference share. So whenever you are talking about cumulative, if you add non, it becomes non-cumulative. So whenever we are talking about next division, that is non-cumulative preference share, what is happening in case of non-cumulative preference share? What is happening in case of non-cumulative preference share? Of course, the dividends will never be paid. The dividends of the year in which loss took place will never be paid. যে বছরগুলো লস হয়েছিল সেই লস ইয়ার্সের ডিভিডেন্ডগুলো নন কিউমুলেটিভের ক্ষেত্রে আর ইয়ার অফ প্রফিটে পেড হবে না, বিকজ ইটস নন কিউমুলেটিভ. But in case of cumulative, what is happening? Whatever will be the loss, means whatever will be the dividend in the loss years will be paid in the year of the profit. So is it clear the difference between cumulative preference shares and non-cumulative preference shares? Right? Now, next, we can talk about convertible preference shares. We can divide it, means we have to write the answer if it comes that write about the instruments of the capital market. Then you have to make the answer a big lengthy. So you can include all this, and these are easy points, very easy to remember if you write one line also about what is cumulative preference share and what is non-cumulative. I guess it will be a good answer. Excuse me. So convertible preference shares. Now what are convertible preference shares? Either it will mandatorily or optionally or will fully or partially get converted into equity shares. These are what instrument? Hybrid instruments. These fall under the category of hybrid instruments. So mandatorily or optionally or fully or partially will get converted into equity share. নয় পুরোটা কনভার্ট হয়ে যাবে, নয় পার্শিয়াল কিছু পোর্শন কনভার্ট হবে, নয় ম্যান্ডেটরিলি কনভার্ট করতেই হবে, বা অপশন আছে তুমি কনভার্ট করতেও পারো, নাও করতে পারো. You can convert it or you don't have to convert it. If it's mandatory, then you have to convert it. Fully means the entire preference shares you're holding needs to get converted into equity shares. And if it's partial, then the partial portion of the share holding you have will get converted into equity shares. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. Okay, now there are redeemable preference shares. What are redeemable preference shares? Redeemable preference shares. Now redeemable preference shares are nothing, will be repaid back after fixed maturity period. Of course, redeemable only exists, that is whatever amount we are investing in preference shares, we will get it back after a certain fixed period. After a fixed period, we'll get back the amount. That is redeemable preference share. It is easy. Okay. Now, next, participating preference share. So what is participating preference shares? These shares, we know for shares we will get a dividend. We will get a dividend for shares. Now in case of participating preference shares, along with dividend, we will enjoy some extra benefit. Apart from receiving the fixed rate of dividend, whatever rate of dividend we were receiving, we will receive that, of course, but along with that we will enjoy some extra profit, some extra benefit, so that is participating preference shares. So what we studied, cumulative first one was, what is that? If dividend could not be paid in the year of losses, then that amount of dividend will be paid in the year of profit. In case of non-cumulative preference share, no carry forward of the losses. In case of convertible, of course the shares are getting either mandatorily or optionally or partially or fully converted into equity shares. Now redeemable means after a certain point of time, after a fixed time period, the amount will be returned, will be given back. Now what is participating preference shares? Now participating preference shares means along with dividend you are getting certain extra benefit. Along with dividend you are getting certain extra benefit, right? Okay. Next comes non-participating. Now in case of non-participating preference shares, what you need to write? Of course, along with the fixed rate of dividend you are getting nothing, means only entitled to receive the fixed rate of dividend, only entitled to receive the fixed rate of dividend. So see here the classification is so beautifully done: hybrid, pure, derivative, done. Further if you classify, it will come to equity shares with voting rights, with differential rights as to voting or dividend, etc. Preference shares, first we are talking about cumulative, non-cumulative, convertible, redeemable, participating. Next, non-participating. Done. Number 3, we'll talk about debentures. Now, who are the debenture holders? Now, what is debenture? The debenture creates a charge on the undertaking or asset of company. It creates a charge on the undertaking or asset of company, and the company issues a certificate of indebtedness. A certificate of indebtedness is issued by the company, means it's nothing. The debenture holder is providing a kind of loan, indebting, giving certain amount of debt to the company. So it creates a charge on the asset of the company. So what does this means? Suppose the company is having several assets, right? Now Mr. A is the debenture holder. Mr. A is the debenture holder of the company. Now Mr. A is giving certain amount to the company, purchasing debenture and investing certain amount. So whenever Mr. A is taking debenture, it means this amount, whatever Mr. A is paying, this amount is to be returned back by the company after a certain point of time. But for that, what is happening? The company is creating a charge on its asset. And suppose if after a certain point of time the company fails to repay back the amount, then this asset of the company will be sold and the amount will be paid to Mr. A. It creates a charge on the undertaking or asset of the company's property. Whenever you know that whenever we take loan, we have to give certain security. This is that kind of security. Whenever company is taking this amount, the company is saying that yes, for if the company fails to repay back, then this asset will be sold off and paid to Mr. A. So this is debenture. A certificate of indebtedness is issued by the company. Means the person is indebted. Means the company is indebted to that person, and if the company fails to pay to that person, then the company will sell off the asset and pay that person, the asset on which the charge was created. Clear? Now next is sweat equity shares. It's not that sweat. It's sweat equity shares means what? It is a equity share, of course. And the sweat equity shares is that issued to directors and employees at a concessional rates. These are the shares which are issued to the directors, to the employees of the company. To whom they are issued? They are issued to the directors and employees of the company. They are issued to the directors and employees of the company at a concessional rate, at a low rate. It means if the market value of the share is going rupees 20, then it is issued by the company to its directors and employees, suppose at 19. Why? To appreciate their services. We are appreciating their services. We want to appreciate that whatever work they are doing for the company, it's appreciable. We are appreciating it. We are motivating them. That is sweat equity shares. Sweat equity shares. Now, in this classification of capital market instrument, you can also write about futures, you can also write about options, you can write it, because they are also a part of the capital market. And if they are the part of the capital market, no matter if I told that they are the derivative market instrument, but the broad head is capital market. So under capital market instrument, you can definitely write about future, about options, you can definitely write about swaps and all this, you can write. Right? So mainly what you will write whenever the question comes about the instruments, first divide it into three parts, that is hybrid, pure and derivative. In derivative instrument, first in hybrid instruments, derivative, then say that the further classification are as follows: equity shares, preference shares, debentures, in preference shares, non-cumulative, cumulative, participating, non-participating, redeemable. Okay. In case of debenture, then sweat equity shares. Okay. Future option, you can write everything. So this will give a big answer and you will score good marks. Now, next instrument, and very important instrument, is GDR. What? GDR. The full form of GDR is Global Depository Receipt. The full form of GDR is Global Depository Receipt. Now what happens? Just listen to the story. What happens? Now it may so happen that Indian company wants to raise fund from the foreign investors, because we all know that there are lack of investors here. So we always opt for the foreigners to invest. That's why there is a policy that came, Make in India policy, and all this were introduced, so that we are inviting foreigners to invest here, to do business here, so that what happens here, the population over here gets employment, economic growth take place. That's why we need investment from foreigners, because they have money. To be honest, they have money and we don't. We still are suffering, we still are developing, and I don't know whether we will be developed or not someday. Anyways, so what is GDR? The concept of GDR is very easy. Suppose I'm an Indian company and I want to raise fund from the foreign investor. I am an Indian company and I want to raise fund from whom? Foreign investors. Now the foreign investors is liking the Indian company. The foreign investor is liking the Indian company, but the foreign investors might not want to trade in the Indian stock market. Again, আবার আমি বলছি, what is happening? আমি একটা ইন্ডিয়ান কোম্পানি, আমি চাইছি আমি ইনভেস্টমেন্ট নেব, ইনভেস্টমেন্ট আমার ফরেন ইনভেস্টার্সদের থেকে। আই নিড ইনভেস্টমেন্ট, আই নিড টু রেজ ফান্ড ফ্রম হুম? ফ্রম দ্য ফরেন ইনভেস্টার্স। আমার টাকার দরকার, অ্যান্ড আই ওয়ান্ট দ্য মানি, the fund from the foreign investors. So I approached the foreign investor. Now the foreign investor is liking the Indian company. The foreign investor is ready to invest also in the Indian company, but the foreign investor is not ready to trade in the Indian stock market. Now your question will be, why, ma'am? why the foreign investor is ready to invest but not ready to trade in the Indian stock market? See, if my Indian company is issuing shares, then of course what is happening, this shares will be traded in the Indian stock market because my company is Indian company. And if the foreign marketer or the foreign investor, not marketer, foreign investor is investing in my shares, then it means that the trading will of course take place in the Indian stock market only. But the foreign investor will invest but will not trade in the Indian stock market. Now what is the solution? Okay, now why? Because of too much of volatility. See, in Indian stock market, you will find too much volatility, price falling, bullish, bearish. There is no stability. So for this reason, the foreign investor is not ready. Now, I as an Indian company need fund, right? So came the concept of GDR, Global Depository Receipt. What happens? The company issues GDR. This GDR can be traded in the foreign stock market. Means I am getting the investment, I am getting my money, and I am issuing GDR to the foreign investor. The foreign investor, I need money, the foreign investor need foreign stock market and not the Indian stock market. আমি আমার টাকা পেয়ে গেলাম, আমি ফরেন ইনভেস্টরকে ফরেন ইনভেস্টর যেটা চাইছে সেটা দিয়ে দিলাম. I am issuing GDR. Now this GDR can be traded in the foreign stock market. Now, tahale a price of GDR. The price of GDR will be influenced by what? What will influence the price of this GDR? The price of this GDR will be influenced by the performance of the Indian company and by the foreign stock market performance. So two things will matter: the performance of the Indian company and the performance of the foreign stock market, and that will determine the price of the GDR. Is it clear? So what is happening? Indian company wants to raise fund from the foreign investor. Foreign investor, in spite of liking the Indian company, do not want to trade in the Indian stock market. So due to too much volatility. So for this reason, Indian company is issuing GDR to the foreign investor. This GDR could be traded in the foreign stock market, and the price of this GDR will be determined by the performance of the Indian company and the foreign stock market. That's GDR. Suppose Reliance issuing what? Reliance is issuing shares to Domestic Custodian Bank, DCB. What is this Domestic Custodian Bank? This Domestic Custodian Bank is handovering the shares to foreign bank. Now what foreign bank is doing? Foreign bank is converting the shares to GDR and is handing over the GDR to the foreign investor. Now foreign investor is giving foreign currency to foreign bank. What is happening? See, Reliance issuing shares to Domestic Custodian Bank. This bank is doing what? It is handing over the shares to foreign bank. Foreign bank is converting shares to GDR and giving to the foreign investor. Foreign investor is giving the foreign currency to foreign bank. Right? Now foreign bank is handing over this to again DCB, Domestic Custodian Bank, and this DCB is converting the foreign currency into Indian currency and handing over to the company Reliance. See. Is it clear? Reliance issuing shares to DCB, DCB handing over to foreign bank converting shares to GDR, giving it to the foreign investor giving the foreign currency to foreign bank handing over to DCB converting it into Indian currency, handing over it to Reliance. So this is the concept of GDR, Global Depository Receipt. Is it clear? It's very easy. আমি চাই ফরেন থেকে ইনভেস্টমেন্ট, ফরেন থেকে ফান্ড রেজ করতে, foreigner is also willing, the foreign investor is also ready to invest in my company, but the foreign investor is not ready to trade in the Indian stock market. So I am issuing GDR, which could be traded in the foreign stock market, and the price of this GDR will be affected by two things: the performance of Indian company and the performance of the foreign stock market. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So next is what? ADR. Another is ADR. This is what? ADR, the full form is what? American Depository Receipt. It's nothing, it's same as GDR. It's same as GDR, but it's only traded in the American stock market. It's traded in the American stock market, same as GDR, but traded in the American stock market. And the last is IDR. India के छोटो करा एकदम ही ना, हमारा देश महान India. So Indian Depository Receipt. Next comes Indian Depository Receipt. Indian Depository Receipt. So it's opposite of GDR and ADR. Why? In Indian Depository Receipt, what is happening? The foreign company wants investment or wants fund from India. The story is totally opposite. Now what is happening? Now the foreign company wants fund from India. The Indian investor is ready to invest in the foreign company, but the Indian investor do not want to trade in the foreign stock market. We have also swag. We are Indians. We also can say that I don't want to trade in the foreign stock market. I will trade in my own stock market. But this is very rare. So anyways, but we should carry our swag no matter what. So here what is happening? An Indian company, means Indian investor is ready to invest in the foreign company, but do not want to trade in the foreign stock market. So the foreign company issues IDR. This could be traded in the Indian stock market, and the price of the IDR will be determined by the performance of the foreign company and the performance of the Indian stock market. There is global, there is American. So why India should? So India also said no, we will also have Indian Depository Receipt. It might so happen, yes, there might be a swag that yes, of course, this will, like, I will invest money, I have huge money, I will invest, but I will not trade there. No, I will not trade there. Then comes the concept of IDR. Is it clear? So in today's class, we completed all the instruments, whatever instruments we have done. If you write this much, it will be enough. It will be enough for a 10 marks answer. Okay. So hybrid, pure, derivative, equity, preference, debentures, sweat equity, global depository, ADR, IDR, everything. Okay. That's it. So thank you, class. In the next class, we will continue from this.